Nonton RCTI ya di aplikasi RCTI Plus. Nikmati acara favorit RCTI dan konten eksklusif yang cuma ada di RCTI Plus. RCTI Plus. Di Nobar Ikatan Cinta, banyak konten yang bikin kamu lebih kenal dekat dengan pemain Ikatan Cinta. Mulai dari video lucu dibuang sayang, bahas fashion, fakta menarik, dan kesempatan bertemu pemain idola Ikatan Cinta. Nobar Ikatan Cinta setiap hari nonstop tanpa jeda hanya di aplikasi RCTI Plus. Jangan yang lain.
I'm not my parents, like I'm not Pahate, I'm not Bu Lili gitu. Saya adalah diri saya sendiri.
Capek deh kalau misalkan mikirnya tuh pengen buktiin diri ke orang-orang gitu. Semua orang memiliki porsi beda-beda gitu ya.
Everybody has their own struggles. Menurut saya sih ya nggak usah dijudge aja sih, kayak people based on whatever they.
Dari nol itu aku berproses, jadi kayak ini tuh gak mudah sama sekali.
Aku percaya dengan semangat dan kerja keras, kita akan bisa meraih mimpi kita. And this is me, Liodra.
Kamu kenapa buang Nindi ke panti asuhan? Dan kau bilang Nindi sudah meninggal.
Lo tau sendiri kan, dulu tuh gue terpaksa.
Apapun alasan kamu, kenapa kamu nggak bilang sama Mbak? Kamu malah bawa Mbak ke makam yang kosong. Atau karena kamu pengen milikin Mas Nino?
Eits, penasaran kan? Nonton RCTI ya di aplikasi RCTI Plus. Nikmati acara favorit RCTI dan konten eksklusif yang cuma ada di RCTI Plus. RCTI Plus.
Kalian ya, dan aku nggak mau jadi orang tiga lah.
Perkara alam yang memetakan pertemuan di periode kehidupan. Ini cerita tentang Sam. Dia yang aku sebut sebagai sahabat setia.
Viewers, terima kasih Anda masih bersama kami dan tentunya sesaat lagi kita akan segera untuk menyaksikan pertandingan babak pertama final Piala AFF leg kedua antara Indonesia menghadapi Thailand. Dan tentunya juga saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih untuk Mito Chiba. Kalau ada Mito Chiba, nggak butuh yang lain. Bang Jago, Bang Digital paling jago seluruh Nusantara, dan Extra Jos. This is new lucky, Extra Jos yang telah mendukung pertandingan Indonesia versus Thailand pada hari ini. Dan tentunya saya akan kembali berbincang-bincang dengan Haris Pardede sambil kita menanti susunan line up yang akan keluar dari kedua tim. Haris, tadi kita berbicara soal lini tengah dari Indonesia, mengapa Evan Dimas tidak dimainkan sejak menit awal dalam beberapa laga terakhir, karena itu menimbulkan tanda tanya besar bagi seluruh penikmat sepak bola Indonesia. Kita tahu bahwa Evan memiliki peran yang sentral, termasuk juga ketika dia mengalirkan bola ke lini serang. Namun pilihan dari Sintayong pun juga tidak salah dengan memainkan Rahmat Irianto setiap pertandingan sejak menit awal, karena memang kemampuan yang dimiliki oleh keduanya pun juga sangat berbeda.
Ya,
Haris,
apa yang ditampilkan Sintayong dalam beberapa laga terakhir adalah tim yang terbaik menurut kacamata dia ya.
Betul.
Dan juga tim yang menurut dia pas ketika menghadapi lawan yang dia rasa memang layak untuk ditampilkan. Nah, peran Evan Dimas ini saya pikir cukup vital. Ya, walaupun dia bermain ataupun banyak di bangku cadangan, tapi dalam beberapa kesempatan dia masuk kemudian memberikan kontribusi. 2 gol dan juga 2 assist adalah cermin ya, maka pentingnya seorang Evan Dimas. Dan kita ingat dalam sebuah tim apapun itu, baik di organisasi kantor sekalipun, kadang ada yang lagi perform, kadang ada yang decline, itu biasa ya. Jadi ini juga tantangan koreksi buat Evan Dimas untuk lebih bisa mengimprove kemampuan dia untuk bisa mengambil kembali tempat inti 11 line up yang dulu pernah menjadi milik dia.
Baik, viewers, kita sudah terhubung ke National Stadium yang ada di Singapura. Tentunya kita semuanya tidak sabar untuk melihat bagaimana penampilan dari anak asuh Sintayong untuk nantinya berhadapan dengan Thailand pada leg kedua final Piala AFF 2020. Kita boleh kalah di leg pertama dengan skor 0-4, tapi tentunya kita tidak boleh untuk tidak mendukung tim nasional Indonesia, karena sejauh ini progres yang telah ditunjukkan oleh skuad asuhan dari Sintayong sudah melebihi ekspektasi. Alangkah lebih baiknya di 2022 ini kita awali dengan semangat yang baru untuk sepak bola Indonesia. Dan sedikit prediksi Anda, Haris.
Ya, kalau kita lihat ya, kita sudah sedikit mendapatkan bocoran line up. Nampaknya Sintayong akan tetap menyerang. Ini suatu sikap yang kekeh. Memang karakter dari Sintayong ini adalah fight ya, tapi memang ada risiko yang mungkin akan terjadi. Lini belakang kita mungkin akan dieksploitasi. Nah, mungkin keseimbangan inilah yang harus dihadirkan. Artinya dengan 4 back yang mungkin ditampilkan oleh Sintayong, tapi juga ingat harus hati-hati gelandang bertahan kita yang ditampilkan nanti siapapun itu, apakah Rahmat Irianto, apakah mungkin Dewangga ataukah Ricky Kambuaya, harus juga hati-hati. Ya kita sudah tahu bagaimana tajamnya Canatip Songkrasin, kemudian juga Supacok dan kawan-kawan. Terasil Dangda ini harus diwaspadai. Mereka juga ingat masih punya motivasi, bukan soal kemenangan ataupun hasil apa di laga kedua ini, tapi juga natural motivasi mereka untuk menciptakan top skor. Jadi kita tetap harus hati-hati, jangan sampai juga kita kalah dan dengan skor besar. Kalau bisa menang itu lebih baik, tapi minimal jangan kalah kalau saya.
Tapi kalau untuk menang sendiri bagaimana kalau pandangan dari Ari sendiri?
Ya,
adakah kemungkinan?
Ya, saya pikir sangat sulit ya. Kalau kita bicara kemungkinan mungkin hanya 1-2%. Tapi tetap kita harus menjalani sebagai ksatria, kita harus main all out, tunjukkan yang terbaik. Itu yang hanya bisa dilakukan oleh para pemain. Kemudian juga mengambil pelajaran dari sini juga sangat penting. Tapi kalau ditanya memang tidak mudah ya. Sintayong sendiri sudah mengatakan ini seperti mendaki bukit yang terjal.
Ya. Kemudian juga sebetulnya
tapi nggak berani olahraga.
Siapa yang ngelawan sih, Kak?
Terus ini namanya apa selain ngelawan? Apa nggak sebaik kamu pikir, Tak?
So here we are then back at the National Stadium, Singapore. It's the very final match of the AFF Suzuki Cup 2020, the second leg final between Thailand and Indonesia. Thailand, we know, of course, have got that 4-0 lead from the first leg and have looked hugely impressive, and that's why their fans are in raptures that their country is on the verge, they would feel, or at least one hand on the trophy for a record-extending 6th time. 6 times, by the way, is the number of occasions Indonesia have found themselves in the final, including this one, and the 5 times previous, they have come away empty-handed. As of now, it looks like history, unfortunately, could well repeat itself. There's been lots of fighting talk, of course, as you can imagine, from the Indonesians, that they are still in this, and of course, they still are. 90 minutes to get 4 goals, 4 unanswered goals, to force at least extra time, and that is what they are fighting for. The AFF Suzuki Cup, which has garnered a lot of attention right now as well, it would appear, as we look at the 2 teams in the tunnel, and they know the task at hand. We had some breaking news just before we came on air, and that was 4 Indonesian players, unfortunately, have been excluded from this match because they broke COVID protocols. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but that would be hugely disappointing to the Indonesian camp, given the task at hand. Well, the rest of these players know they have to give it their absolute best and most to try somehow to stop this Thai team that has really captured the imagination. So good going forward, sturdy and steadfast at the back, and encapsulated by no one less than their captain, Chanatip Songkrasin, who is surely the leading contender for MVP. But don't take my word for it, let's hear from the experts. Rish Rai, next to me here, who's been certainly licking his lips at the tantalizing affair that we've had. Roshan, it's been a fantastic tournament overall, but here we are now, the second leg. How do you feel this will go?
It really has been a great competition, and here we are. I mean, Thailand with such a commanding position to be in, 4 goals up from the first leg. A wonderful performance in that first leg. So controlled, so dominant, and it's rare in major finals to be in such a position, right? To have 4 goals from their first leg. I don't think I've ever seen it anywhere in a final of a major competition. So if Indonesia were to somehow, I know the probabilities are very low, but if they were to somehow claw themselves back into this tie,
only one team has ever won the AFF Suzuki Cup having lost the first leg, and that was Thailand against Indonesia, by the way, ironically, and that was in 2016. Can history repeat itself? We'll have to wait and see in a short while when the match gets underway. They are up for it today, but they've got their work cut out for them. When you look at the lineups, Thailand make 5 changes from the side that won that first leg. Manu Porking has restored many of what some would consider his first 11, or close enough as it were. Tiratan Bumatan returns from suspension. He is at left back. Paui will come into centre back after the injury to White, who's been fairly regular as well, hasn't he? Tristando and Wirata, as I mentioned earlier, Elias Dola had that injury and came off in the first leg. Lots and lots of options though for Thailand, that's for sure. The 2 skippers here, Chanatap we mentioned earlier on his, and to the right, Asnawi, who has been promised a house if he can win this, along with Irfan Jaya. They both come from the same part of Indonesia. Their governor has he would like to do that if they can perform something pretty outstanding this evening. And they'll have to do it with these players here. 3 changes made by Shin Tae-yong. There was lots of speculation as to whether Egy Maulana would start today. The answer is yes. Pratama returns from suspension, and the very pacey forward Ramai Rumakek also gets a starting place today. Looking at their formation, they are going with the 4-2-3-1. Ramai Rumakek, as you said, Ramai Rumakek on that left-hand side. Dedek Setiawan is still the preferred forward. And as we mentioned, the rather bizarre news that 4 players broke protocols and have not been included today. Rizky Ramadhani was one of them, Elkan Baggett another. In fact, there were 2 Rizkys involved as well, and Victor Igbonefo was the 4th player. Edo Febriansha is on the bench along with Irfan Jaya, who will be quite the impact player, I'm sure, if he's called upon. There are the 2 coaches. It's been relatively well-intentioned, the press conferences between the 2 in the run-up to this final. And a moment of remembrance now for family, friends and colleagues, every person who has passed on due to COVID-19. We must remember, of course, in the backdrop of COVID-19, this tournament was postponed twice, but in the grander scheme of things, of course, there is still important to remember we're in the middle of a global pandemic. Faisal Al-Ali, the man in charge here from Jordan. Rish Roshan Rai, your thoughts on that lineup, on those lineups?
I'm enjoying this countdown actually. 3, 2, 1 before kickoff on this second leg. Yeah, looking at those lineups, I think with Indonesia here, it looks like a pretty attacking lineup, which you'd expect being 4 goals down. Obviously looking to try and start with a very quick tempo early on. It almost will be a 4-1-4-1, I think, at times, with Ricky Kambuaya and Witan Sulaiman allowed to get forward in support of Dedek Setiawan, especially when Indonesia are in possession of the ball. Egy Maulana, Ramai Rumakek. Egy Maulana playing on that right-hand side will be allowed to drift in onto his left foot. Ramai Rumakek, same, playing as those inverted wingers in those wider positions for this Indonesian team. For Thailand, I mean, it's still an incredibly strong lineup. We've seen the strength of their squad throughout this competition. When you look at Chanatip in there, Tirasin, Bodin, 3 players who I thought were brilliant in the first leg, and Supachok, who was the man of the match, deservedly so.
Brilliant, yeah. Someone who, if not for Chanatip's goals, might well be considering himself a contender for MVP. Remember, you need to score 4 goals minimum, 4 unanswered goals for Indonesians to stand any chance of seeing this through and potentially grabbing their first ever AFF Suzuki Cup. There's Tiraton, brought back into the side after his suspension was complete. That is a delightful ball into the path of Bodin, who goes down, looks across at the referee. Nothing doing. The danger isn't over. A little cheeky touch on from Bodin. Chanatip can't get there. Narubadin puts a cross in. It'll be a corner. Feels like it's the first leg again.
Yeah, you know, one of the great things about this Thai team is how they've started off matches, and here, just here, a bit of contact there behind. Asnawi is on the wrong side of Bodin. He's bearing down on goal. I don't think there's enough to give a penalty there.
Here's Tiraton on the right-hand side. Oh, he was getting involved. And now the counter. This is where Indonesia can be dangerous. Egy Maulana, goal here, would light the stadium up. Witan Sulaiman. Back to Egi. Best of passes for Rahmat, but it's still with Indonesia. Asnawi. They know if they want to stand a chance, an early goal would really help their cause. There's that fine balance, isn't it, Roshan, of trying to go forward and force the issue, but not leaving yourself too exposed, because you know how dangerous the ties are.
Well, that's right, and sort of they're trying to find that balance in the team, in the situation that they find themselves in. You see that issue there. They haven't been comfortable in possession when they've been pressed by Thailand. We saw that in the first leg where Indonesia were giving the ball away very easily, unaccustomed to the pace that Thailand want to play the game at.
Two not so great passes from Rahmat Irianto, and much has been made of the fact that his father was also an Indonesian international and played in the AFF Suzuki Cup final. That looks back in 2002. And that was also against Thailand, by the way. And that's one of the more painful losses for Indonesia. They had to go to penalties in that one. His father missed a penalty in the shootout. Can he go one better today? At the moment, it looks a very difficult task for Rahmat and co. Still given away to Narubadin. Super chop. Brought down, he looks at the referee, arms stretched out, he's not interested. Pratama, so good to have him back inside on left hand. They looked a little bit vulnerable, didn't they? Particularly in the first 15 minutes on that Indonesian left-hand side, the Thai right.
That's right, they did, and it wasn't just on the defensive front, you know, going forward he offers a lot, and they didn't really have that outlet on the left-hand side in the first leg. They tried to change it up in the second. Alfiandra going to play out at left back. And while Alfiandra has been one of the outstanding Indonesian players for me, I don't think he was very effective in that position. A bit unfair on him. Yeah. Obviously, he's going to try and do his best for the team, but it wasn't very effective.
Great work there from Asnawi. Get past Bordin. Here's Witan Sulaiman.
That's another player, Witan Sulaiman, who just got crowded out in that first leg and didn't have any impact at all because Thailand was so determined to get players around him as quickly as they possibly could. And again, just there, three Thai players around him. On this occasion, he kept the ball really well with Tan. We spoke about development earlier and how these young Indonesian players playing in a big final for perhaps the first time at international level in these sort of conditions against a very experienced Thai team.
That's a good throw in, isn't it? Into the pit, I think it's in Sulaiman. Inside was strong, it is going to be a corner.
Again, that added tactical value that Pratama Arhan brings to this Indonesian side with those long throws in behind.
Which was waiting,
just see the contact here.
Now there's more contact here, isn't there?
It's
the other one.
It's come off. It looks like it's come off Witan, so I don't understand how that's a corner. And it looks like he was actually bumped in from behind by Kritsada.
Not enough for a penalty, though, right?
I don't think so, but I don't think it's a corner as well.
Either.
It's come off Witan last. Anyway.
Howie with the header. Here is Chanatip. Clearance by Narubadin. Keep up this pressure. Here's Ramai, who's got the pace. Ramai, lovely turn from Witan Sulaiman. Ricky Kambuaya, it's slipped in. Indonesia has got their goal with a large slice of luck. Ricky Kambuaya has struck early here, and has that given them just a little bit of hope?
That will give them a lot of hope. Still a long way to go, but what a start for Indonesia. Love the work from Rumah Kek down this left-hand side, keeps his composure, and wonderful what Witan Sulaiman does there. He hangs on to the ball under pressure. We didn't see enough of that from him in the first leg. Taking on the responsibility, holding on to it, and then Kambuaya, all he can do really is try and drive that through the sea of legs and test the goalkeeper, keep it on target. And he tested Siwarak, who on this occasion wasn't up to this challenge. It's a bad mistake from an experienced goalkeeper, but Indonesia won't care. Look at the defenders it's gone through. That's poor goalkeeping, doesn't get behind the ball at all. Just takes his eye off it, perhaps careless from Siwarak.
Only the second goal that Thailand have conceded in this tournament. Ball is given away. Here comes Tirasin Dunga. Can they hit back immediately? Nadio's down the way. And the resulting shot is then blocked for a corner though.
He's been great, Nadio, in goal for Indonesia. Again, he had to be strong with that. He kept the shot out.
Well, this is end-to-end stuff early on. A perfect start for Indonesia, Roshan. This is what not only the Indonesians, but the neutrals watching this would want to see.
This is great. This is great for the final. I know it's not great for Thai fans out there, but the atmosphere around the stadium has been brilliant, even before kickoff.
Absolutely.
And from the Indonesian fans as well, a credit to them. They were loud, they were lively.
Tanawat, surely brought down. Rahmat went in hard. Everyone's blood is pumped up at the moment, isn't it?
Lovely work from Tanawat. It is a foul. He gets a second challenge in as well.
What follow-up could have been
from Dedik.
Again, pretty much dead centre. You know, there's one player certainly going to fancy his chances, and he's right on the ball.
Remember the first leg when there were a couple of really good positions for Thailand for the free kicks. They've got another great position here, and this time they've got the specialist on.
That magic wand of a left foot for Tiraton. They will have been watching, I'm sure, his videos, Roshan, in anticipation of what he wants to do, what he does with his free kicks.
Yeah, that was a great angle that we had, a camera angle that we had early on of the position of the wall. And when I actually saw that, I thought, I think there's going to be a need of a bit of adjustment, and he has adjusted it, Nadeo. He has, because they were far too wide there, so he went to step across and had another look. He's adjusted it.
Is he hedging a bit? He's very central, isn't he? Let's see. Wall does its job, and listen to that. That's getting applauded by the crowd, big time. Chanatik. Well defended by Alfreanda. And there you go, he's just gesturing to his players, calm it down. Polking. How is he feeling about things at the moment? He's wearing his lucky clothes at the moment.
Well, for Indonesia, it's about goal, use the momentum. For Thailand, again, that experience needs to come in. Lots of experienced heads need to keep their composure, try and slow it down where they can. If in situations, in these set pieces, they can kill it off, go and do it, sure.
They'll get another corner. Tirasin appealed immediately. Well, this is the best possible way you can respond, short of scoring an actual equaliser.
Yeah, pressure's on. Thailand, good response from them. Again, it's Tirasin making a nuisance of himself. Might just have taken a touch, perhaps.
Well, there'll be another almighty roar from the Indonesians if they defend this one well, get it away. By the way, just to let you know that we've got Witan Sulaiman and Ramai right on the halfway line. Anything should come their way. Loose ball. Oh, that was beautiful, wasn't it, from Superchop, and it grazes the crossbar on the outside of his boot.
Clever from Superchop. Comes into him quickly, and he can't really sort of readjust his body in those positions. You need to take these attempts quickly. He's still got the time to take a first touch. He's just trying to curl it into the top corner with the outside of his boot. Unfortunately for Indonesia, it's come off the crossbar.
He's certainly someone, Roshan, that you have pinpointed as you'd love to see him venture out of Thailand, perhaps into the likes of Japanese and Korean leagues, maybe further afield.
Yeah, and I think he's one of those who's ready to move on to Bachok. We've seen evidence of that, I think, over the last couple of years, and certainly in this competition. And that really is the key for Southeast Asian players, and it's something that observers of Southeast Asian football, it's not something groundbreaking to say that Southeast Asian players need to go out and get out of their comfort zone and take that next step and try to play in a higher quality league. The ones that obviously have reached a certain level in the region are those players that I'm talking about.
Oh, the ball's been won back beautifully. Look, it's Ricky Kambuaya trying to slalom his way through. Kind of went down, didn't he? In front of Tiraton.
Strong challenges coming in from both sides. Ricky Kambuaya has got this ability in him to just run past. I think that's a foul. There should have been a free kick to Indonesia. And then Egy, strong with the follow-up challenge.
Shin Tae-yong said, we will win this second leg. Didn't say by how many goals or whether it would be enough to take them through to lifting the trophy. But he's given them this self-belief. He's maintained, even right after the defeat, and it was a disappointing game for Indonesia. But remember, they had two very, very good chances in that first leg. Here is Witan Sulaiman. Right on his own, he's got two players right on him. Now Tiraton.
You can sense that nervousness has gone out of this Indonesian team. They were so nervous in the first leg. They couldn't keep the ball under pressure, but suddenly they've got confidence now because they're in a situation where they can't really lose. If all goes down, there's no pressure.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be the way. As they grow, as they develop, they should learn to play under that pressure.
Just got to keep their heads. There's some flying in here. Back with Indonesia, Asnawi. Well, it's full-blooded so far. You couldn't ask for a better start to this match.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, Kambuaya is really trying to single-handedly carry Indonesia forward. And he's, for me, been one of the best players in this Indonesian side as well. I know, talk about Witan, Nadeo, Pratama Arhan, Alfeandra. I'm now realizing I pretty much said the whole Indonesian team is the best.
Well, I think you pinpointed him in the first leg as the one who stood out for you, and you were surprised, even I dare say disappointed when he got yanked off, didn't you? Felt that he could have stayed on the pitch.
I was surprised that they took him off. Maybe there was a thinking that
for the second leg.
We were trying to keep him fresh for the second leg. But look at how they're closing and pressing and harrying here, Indonesia. They're hungry for this. They believe now that they can get something out of this match. And for all those people out there who are saying, let's cancel the second leg, in jest, I'm sure, in jest.
There was a lot of that going on. Now,
I'm not quite sure they feel the same way about that now.
Absolutely. Glued to their screens, I'm sure. Here comes the Pratama Arhan special. With his long throws. They're usually flat as well. Plenty of pace on them. Egy Maulana got a little touch on. Now you're seeing Manu Polking there. He was just, again, gesturing to his players. Calm it down or slow it down. Both of them would work right now for them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's right. So they're going to take as much time as they possibly can on these restarts. And you just saw evidence of that. The ball went on play. None of the Thai players really went off the pitch to take it. Mano took his time, walked to the ball, kicked it onto the pitch. But that's the key. That's being professional in these situations.
Tiraton's pass up top to Gordon has gone out of play. Catch a breath if you can. This is one of the few quieter moments in this match so far. 17 minutes have flown by in this AFF Suzuki Cup 2020 final, the second leg. Indonesia have scored a goal through Ricky Kambuaya. They need 3 more unanswered goals just to force This final will go into extra time, but the early goal is precisely what they would have wanted. The only 2 goals that Thailand have scored, that Thailand have conceded so far, have come off errors at the back. One against the Philippines, Manuel Beer's header was not good enough, slotted in by Reichelt. And here today, Siwadak. Some handling, poor handling in the shot. Chanatip has gone down, his boots off. He was in the press today, Roshan, talking about how players like him should be venturing out.
And he's absolutely right. Again, as his boot comes off there, you've seen his game step up to a different level, and you understand why, you know, what he's learned from his time in J1, how he's developed as a player over there on and off the pitch. Again, as I said, it's not really groundbreaking, I think, to say Southeast Asian players. The ones who have outgrown the region need to then take that next step.
What I thought was interesting in his comments was he's calling it a comfort zone. And
maybe perhaps for some players they are in that comfort zone, but I don't think it's exclusively a Southeast Asian problem. I think it happens in various parts of the world. I think in West Asia you see it as well, with players not, you know, wanting to take that step into Europe, comfort zone, and you see it with English players as well. You know?
Yeah, happy to stay in England.
Happy to stay in England.
And connected with that, he's picked out a couple of things. One is they're probably getting a decent domestic salary, and secondly is the language, which is always an obstacle, isn't it? As we see another foul on Chanatip. Shot, very good, and nicely done by Nadir. I think it just got everyone by surprise.
Yeah, I don't know what it was with a bit of time and space. Everyone was still reorganizing themselves defensively. Gets the ball in space there. Nadir, thankfully for Indonesia, was alert to the entire situation.
That's the kind of thing that would really upset Shin Tae-yong, wouldn't it? Gotta be alert. Don't want to be giving away a goal in those sort of circumstances. Tiraton. He's just opted to punch him. Perhaps he could have caught, but here come Indonesia now. Didik Setiawan is trying to get that up to Witan Sulaiman. They've opted to keep those two on that halfway line, haven't they? Witan and Ramai. Just on the off chance.
Well, they need to. They're in a position where they need to take a few, take more chances rather, more risk in this game. And just going back to the point about players going overseas, as we put it to us now, who's going to play in Korea in K2, is, I know it's easy to say everyone should be going overseas, they should all be testing themselves at a higher level, where's the ambition, this, that, and the other. We also have to remember that we don't know what these players' personal stories are, how many people they're taking care of back home, and if they're making a good salary there, then you have to weigh that comes into it as well. Remember that players, you know, they have people to take care of, they've got families, as you see Super Chop, they're getting taken out.
Also, Roshan, you know, there's a lot of money they make outside through endorsements and all that kind of thing. See that challenge again from Alfiandra. So being in that particular country helps part of that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and so I think that there's a lot that comes into it. Of course, from a sporting perspective, you want to see them step up and challenge themselves and go to the next level. But sometimes it isn't as easy as just that. It's never just one thing.
And for every Chanatip who has succeeded, and same with his teammate Tiraton, they both succeeded at foreign level. A number of them haven't, as the ball comes in to the penalty area. Kambuaya tries to lead the counter-attack. Ramai Kek is taken out there. But before that, the referee is pointing to an earlier offence in the build-up.
Well, the first ball that came in from the first free kick, Bodin Pala was making that run into the box, and you just wonder again if that Indonesian defence had just fallen asleep for a second, because he was in acres of space. If he'd gotten the right touch, he was able to turn and face goal, then Indonesia could have been in trouble. But again, on the counter-attack, you see the threat that they pose, especially with Rumakek and the pace and directness of his running, causing a few issues for Bawi. He's able to skip past that challenge and then A leg out from Paui, taking him down.
They're not enjoying the pace coming at them at the moment, Roshan, the Thais. Perhaps we didn't see enough of that from the Indonesians in that first leg. Only in little flashes where they did cause a few problems, not many.
Yeah, but said it earlier, they're looking a lot more confident. So again, you think about the story around the game. 4 goals down, second leg of the final. Give it everything we've got. It's our last game here. We've got nothing to lose.
Absolutely.
Nobody really expects us to catch up to Thailand in terms of the aggregate scores. And maybe the trophy being out there has given them a bit of inspiration as well.
Thailand would have felt they have one hand on that already. They certainly don't want to be losing Ramai. He's going to get on that stretcher, and Indonesian fans will be hoping he'll leap off it very quickly. Shin Tae-yong right, well, actually outside of his technical area at the moment. Having words with Alfredo Dewanga. But these guys right now, just that belief, I think that's more important than anything else right now, the belief that's coursing through the veins of Indonesian fans. Remember, they have had 2 occasions here at the National Stadium in this tournament where they've managed to score 4 goals. 4 against Malaysia, 4 against Singapore. Very different circumstances, of course. And they've got 3 to go. Asnawi. He's done well. Taken away a little too easy by Didik. Ramai is ready to come back on. But at the moment, the ball's with Supachok. Looking for Bordin. He's forced his way into the area. Rather Tirasin.
Well, a really difficult ball for him to do anything with, Tirasin. How far away he was from goal there. Just knew that he needed to put in a challenge on Fakhruddin. Another one who I was surprised to see taken off at half-time in that first leg, to be replaced by Baggett, who I don't really think has been that impressive. Malcolm Baggett.
Your thoughts on players breaking protocols and now not being available for the final?
I think that's a disgraceful mistake to make. And it almost, you know, it's a lack of respect for your teammates and for the squad as a whole. When everyone's together in camp, everyone is living in that bubble, everyone's working towards that common goal. For you to say, you know what, I want to go out and have a bit of fun. It's disgraceful for me. And you know,
even more so in a pandemic.
Yeah, and you're putting yourselves at risk, you're putting other people at risk. See Eggy going down. And I think, you know, when you look at that, you say, yeah, young players, they make mistakes. Okay, maybe. But Victor Bonefo, what's he, like 36 years old?
Yeah, that's right. Captain of their side. Rahman goes in solidly, wins the ball back. Lovely pass from Witan Sulaiman to Egy Maulana. As Indonesia come forward, slip through. Beautiful interplay between Egy and Witan. Thailand just about get that away.
They're looking for a handball, but I think it's come off the chest of Saraj. But they're a little bit all over the place at the moment, Thailand defensively.
Wonderful to see Witan Sulaiman and Egy Maulana there. Exchange of passes have caused a few problems. The good news is Ramai is up and running. Looking pretty good. Flag just goes up on Supachok, who spent a lot of time looking across at the assistant there.
Tirasin giving it back into Chanatip, but he's looking right across the line there, Supachok. Really should be getting himself back into an onside position. Again, gaining a bit more territory here, pushing up the pitch. Indonesia with a longer pass forward.
Now that Pratama Arhan throw. Let's see if they can get something out of this. Low and flat is normally the key here. And that's exactly what we've got. There will be a corner. Looked like it was Paui who got the final touch. It has been an interesting weapon of choice. Siwarak will be absolutely desperate to make amends after that early mistake. Off the near post, off the man on the near post there, just trying to get a touch on. Witan. Fernando Vanga gives it away. No foul on Chanatip. Here's Asnawi. Pratama Arhan. Turisin dropping deep here as well. Ricky Kambuaya. Now Egy Maulana. Indonesia trying to sustain this pressure. Supatok on his own. One back by Asnawi. Felt he was fouled by Supatok.
Just stop playing for a second, Asnawi.
Without any whistle going.
Without any whistle going. Wanting the referee to blow a whistle there. We're still looking to play the advantage, but Indonesia first to every second ball at the moment.
Well, he wanted a quick ball in. Dedik Setiawan. Delivery wasn't bad, was it?
He was able to actually find the head of Dedik Setiawan. A little bit too high for him, though.
Yeah, again, lots of speculation about who would lead the line. Pretty even at the moment in terms of possession. Shots. Thailand at the moment in front on that one. But yeah, Shin Tae-yong was asked, why have you not used Egy Maulana more? Remember, he got started, as we see Rodan Vala. Still boarded. Tanawat. Yeah, Shin Tae-yong was saying that he had to just manage his players and their workloads, and that's why they want to put too much on Egy. And now people are calling for Ezra Walian. Before they were wondering why he started. It's never an easy job being a coach. It's satisfying all those fans.
It's almost as if everyone else knows better than you.
Here's Pratama Arhan.
And that's why when you're in the hot seat, you might as well make decisions that you want to make. At least if you lose your job, you can say, hey,
my way, hey?
It's my way.
Yeah, absolutely. Given away there by Paui. Slight nerves there in the Thai defence this evening. Helped, of course, by that early goal for Indonesia. Himself had said he didn't think that this was done. He said he even cited some Champions League, UEFA Champions League comebacks, which I'm sure big football fans have all had at the back of their mind.
I'm gonna touch on that. Let's just see what happens here with this long throw, as the referee has a word with Egy and Bodin. He's been saying to these players every time there's a set piece situation in the box, no hands, no hands. I'm watching, and then he says thank you. Very polite referee.
Pratama. Oh, that was an important touch there. Witan Sulaiman got a leg on it, but Bodenfala was in the way. He's gone in hard. He might get booking here. Will indeed.
He's done really well. Kambuaya. Yeah, again that throw. Launched in, missed the first defender with the header. All sorts of issues in the box. Siwarak looking to organise that wall after that nervy start. His mistake leading to the opener for Indonesia. Alfeandra. He's got a wonderful technique.